Stoker's my new bookish boyfriend. Hey guys, my name is Anna and welcome to my channel. Today, we are going to do a review and discussion video for Deanna Rayburn's book, which is called A Curious Beginning, a Veronica Speedwell mystery series. So I got approved for NetGalley for the third book in the series, which is called A Treacherous Curse. And I wanted to read the first two books before I get into the third book because I just want to know everything about the world that they are in. And I know you can read the books as a standalone, but I just know that the reading experience will be very much different if you have read the first two books. So that is why I am reading from book 1 and I am currently reading book 2 right now. And as I said, Stoker is my man. Though he's not like my ordinary kind of guy. I'll be getting into that later, but let's start first with Veronica. Veronica is not your ordinary Victorian lady. She doesn't even consider herself a lady. Why not? Well, because she has gone to adventure. She's a lepidopterist, a scientist that enjoys to study butterflies, and she catches butterflies, sells them to certain buyers who want the certain butterflies, so that's how she earns her own income rather than depending on her family. So she travels alone. She doesn't have a chaperone, and she's a woman at the Victorian era. You need a chaperone wherever you go. Women have no votes at that time. Women are expected to be, you know, every pure thing you can think about. Can't even speak their mind when it comes to politics and other serious discussions. Veronica also has a couple of experiences with the men in the bedchambers location of a house, and she made a rule to herself that she will never ever bed an Englishman which she herself isn't English, and I guess it would just make it a bit awkward, but it's more exciting if the guy is a foreigner for her. When she's out on her adventures, she would tend to, you know, satisfy. She says she has cravings and body needs to satisfy this sort of craving. For her, it really is a great exercise and a great way to relieve stress for her. First of all, Veronica is not raised by her parents. She doesn't know who her parents are. She has only been raised by her two aunts, who she knows really isn't her biological aunts in the first place. She has Aunt Nell and Aunt Lucy. Aunt Nell was like a strict kind of aunt, and Aunt Lucy was like go girl, like sportive. So it's always that thing where there's a strict one and there's the go ahead one, the great one, the nicer one. So the story started out with Aunt Nell being dead. Aunt Lucy was already dead a few years back. She came home and their cottage was wrecked. Turns out there's still a man inside the house, and she tries to run after the man, but she was unsuccessful. He almost did use her as human shield, but luckily another guy arrived and had a gun and she was saved. And it turns out that guy knows her, and that guy knows her mom, and she's like, "Are you my father?" The guy said no. Let's just call him the Baron. Baron told her that you need to come with me because your life is in danger and I'm taking you to London. She was already planning to leave that day. At least she could save her fare and get a free trip to London, so she just agreed without saying a stranger, but I'll take advantage of it. And so they get to London, and he was like, the way Baron talks about her mom is like his face would light up with pure affection, and she just thought that he really knows my mom and maybe he could be my dad, but he's not. She wanted to know more about her mom and dad, but the Baron said that I will tell you everything when the time is right. When they arrived to London, she was left at his friend's house because obviously if she's in danger and they might blame her to him, so might as well hide her in a place where no one can trap her there, so she could think of no one else. And there's one guy who owes him something for saving his life, and so that guy is Stoker, and we are brought to Stoker's home, really ugly warehouse. And they arrived, him shirtless, and he has tattoos on his arms and I think through his back a bit, like not all over, like just over the shoulder blades. He has an eye patch in one eye. What else? Hot. You know, he's like his perfect body. When Stoker noticed that he had company and there was a lady, he put on a shirt. Goodbye, chest. Hot chest. Baron left Veronica to Stoker's care, and Stoker has no choice because he owes the Baron much, and so he doesn't really like to talk to Veronica that much. So Veronica was entertaining herself with his stuff, and then she noticed that he's also sort of like is a natural scientist. His job is to stuff animals to preserve them in a way. God, what that is cool. The thing I love about Stoker's character is that he is physically not perfect. Like, he has scars, he has tattoos, I think he has a piercing, and he has a patch. Veronica understood that it was a way to ward off the ladies, but instead it just caught the attention of ladies whose preferences were different, more rugged, and like that kind of bad boy type of guy. So she would consider that he failed in that section. So Stoker was lacking sleep. Veronica convinced him to take a rest for a while. While he was asleep, Veronica was tidying up the room because she can't help it. At least she has things to do rather than alone with her thoughts. So she went to organize things and she finds a nameplate and it says the RT-V. She recalls like, who is RT-V? And she could recall the name Revelstoke something, forgot. So she was like, oh, it's so clear where you could derive Stoker from Revelstoke. Isn't Revelstoke like a renowned and a famous scientist? Go on adventures and captures exotic animals. And he has also named a lot of animals. I have never once believed and never a second believed that he could not see in his patched eye. I doubt it. Then it turns out that he really isn't blind. He's just like, it got scratched from his last adventure, and if he uses that eye, he would tend to get dizzy and it wouldn't be good, so he'd rather cover it and use just one eye viewing things. So sweet for Stoker to have this young boy come over to his home to get his papers and to do his bidding and all stuff, and then the kid just wouldn't accept charity. So if Stoker would like to give him food, because he knows that the kid is the only one providing for his family of, I don't know, 5 members, I guess. So Stoker would just pretend to say like, the ham you got me from the meat shop was old and please take it away. And the kid would carefully wrap it up and just leave, and Veronica knew instantly that it was a lie because they just ate that ham a few minutes ago and they didn't feel any indigestion. She knew that it was Stoker's way of being nice to the kid and for him to be able to bring home food for his family. So when they find out, the Baron, who's Veronica's only chance at knowing who her parents were, had been killed, and so Stoker was like, he died, so we gotta go somewhere. And they went to the only place that Stoker could think of, which is a traveling circus. The circus is like uncanny things, like people aren't normal, and so they could be considered weird. So they went there, and before they got into the tent, before they met with anyone there, they had an agreement that Stoker said for them to let you stay, we gotta pretend that we're a married couple. Stoker handed her a ring and he put it on her ring finger so they would pretend to be married. And he was like, what am I gonna call you? You can call me Stoker husband or Mr. Stoker, whatever. I wouldn't care less, but what am I gonna call you? What is your Christian name? Veronica said that there's no way I'm gonna tell you my Christian. You can just call me Speed. Stoker said that anyone who knows me very well would know that I will never call people that are familiar with me, that are close to me, with not their given Christian name. So tell me your Christian name. So she gave him her name, Veronica. And then at one time, Stoker just told her, darling Veronica. And I'm like, darling. We go again with the darling. Just reminded me of Akamath from Saturday Mass, which is recent calling Feyre darling. And now we're here with darling Veronica. Seriously? So they got in there, and it turns out that there is a very sexy, beautiful woman whose name is Salome. Veronica instantly knew that there was something between her and Stoker before. So obviously they have slept together, and she probably has like feelings for Stoker. And Stoker was just like, he was kind of like a stone for a while, but then you know how Englishmen can be. They could just like breeze away with that. And so the head of the circus told him that I do not let people stay here for free, so you gotta like work for your stay, you gotta pay for your fee. So how is it they gonna pay? They gotta perform something, they gotta be part of the circus. And so the leader and the owner said that you're gonna have to replace that old guy you taught before. And he's like, oh sure, I can do it. And then he was like, I'm worried because he only has one eye, and then Veronica doesn't know what act he's supposed to do. And it turns out that it's a knife throwing act. Stoker needs an assistant and there's no one else left but his wife. And then Veronica was just like, I trust him, he's my husband, of course. She was terrified, but luckily Stoker is still really good with his aim, even with one eye. And you know how those things make me feel when guys are so good at something. It's very impressive. I'm easy to impress. There you go. You know, every single time I have been screaming at them to say, just kiss her. Obviously, they are forced to sleep under one roof, under one bed, so they're like sleeping, and like Veronica's feet to Stoker's head, Stoker's disgusting feet to Veronica's head on the bed. But the next time that Stoker and Salome were alone, Veronica overheard them, and after their heated discussion, Veronica told Stoker that you should sleep with her. I wouldn't mind. I'll just leave the door open. I don't care. Obviously, we're not officially married. And then Stoker got upset and like, oh, come on. Just kiss her already. I know you like her. During their second performance, Veronica got dizzy because she has this certain sickness. She didn't tell Stoker that she has malaria, but he found out eventually. But when Stoker was about to throw the knife she felt dizzy, and she was, instead of staying stiff, you gotta stay still, she began to limp, but the knife was already flying and it hit her arm and she just passed out. And Stoker's instincts were there and he helped her, and then she was asleep for 2 days. And when she woke up, like, Stoker didn't tell me you had malaria, and then she said, I didn't think that it was important because it was gone for a couple of years now. I was suffering through it, but then it stopped, so I thought I was cured, and then it turns out it's not. There you go. The owner found out that Stoker was a wanted man, and they had a letter or a newspaper saying that this is happening and Stoker is being wanted by the police because he is linked to the Baron. The warehouse is actually owned by the Baron and he just lives there, and so they need to go back to London and be in hiding. And so they went to the Beauclerks, what are they called again? And there is Lady C. It turns out that one of their maids had a thing for Stoker when he used to visit their home, and they live in a huge building. It's called a Belvedere. The men of the family enjoy so much collecting very expensive things, and like he was a scientist who captured a very rare type of butterfly, and they purchased one of the butterflies that the scientist first captured. They are that kind of collectors, but they do not display it very well. They do not even open it to the public. They just like stuff it there. They're a very big building. They were told by Lady C that to stay hidden because her older brother still doesn't know that they are here because he's quite busy at the moment. Then obviously Veronica and Stoker knew that we're not staying in here, right? Stoker's like, of course we're not. And so they left that night to investigate, go to the Baron's house. Stoker was leading her in darker streets and away from street lamps because they are avoiding their faces to be recognized because Stoker's face is wanted. They turned into a corner and there was a policeman coming, and Stoker just grabbed her and hid her at the corner, and Veronica just instantly and just understood instantly that the synchronization is there. That she just lifted her leg and put her arms behind Stoker's neck, and he was nuzzling her neck there so it would look like they're just lovers. And synchronization was there. It was like, oh my god, yes. But why did you just nuzzle the neck? Why didn't you go for the lips, boy? Why did you go for the lips? And so the policeman thought that it was just a guy and a prostitute, and then they left. Of course, they were already like grown people, and then Stoker already knew because Veronica told him that I probably might have more experience with men than you have experience with women. He was like, oh, there's a woman and it's amazing. So just told me she's not a virgin anymore and it's okay. Especially that part where, I'm not gonna tell you every detail here, I'm just thinking about the stuff I have here. That time where they were riding a boat and they were captured, and then Stoker was pretending to be like, what is he doing? Pretending to have a seizure or something, and he was thrown in the boat, and Veronica knew he was faking it, and then Veronica jumped after him. And that part where she said that I miscalculated things, that I cannot swim with my very heavy dress, but the arms wrapped around her, she knew that those familiar arms, oh my god, she's already familiar with Stoker's arms. I'm like, boy, please just get together already. And that time when Stoker told Veronica that don't pout, it creates creases, because it creates creases, and like Stoker is concerned about Veronica having creases. Really? Are you for real now? Veronica was talking about that one other guy, that blonde guy, I think he's blonde, who says he's part of the police, but he wants to be promoted, so he's helping them and stuff to try to solve, because he knows Stoker is not guilty. And Veronica was like, oh, he's a handsome man, and maybe I could break my rules about sleeping with Englishmen. And Stoker was obviously jealous, and he walked out, leaving Veronica there. There was that scene where Veronica realized, and Stoker told her that just let women be, let them do what they want, give them votes, let them join politics and all. And like, oh my god, Stoker is a feminist. He supports women. Like, oh yes, this is perfect. He doesn't think of women as weak. He knows that women are strong. Great. It was also a time where Veronica asked, why aren't you together with Lady C? I was thinking like, oh my god, she is the C. And Veronica found in the ring embedded that to CM. Like, CM was Stoker's ex-wife. Stoker had an ex-wife. I don't know who that woman is. I want to know what happened. Like, I'm waiting for that time when Diana will tell us what happened. I'm hoping it's in book 2 or not, if in book 3, but I'm really looking forward to it. Because like, why isn't Stoker together with Lady C? But they would just keep telling each other that they're really just great friends. Like, it's all platonic for them. Like, they care deeply for each other, but they're just friends. I support that. He'd rather just be with me then. And so Veronica found out the papers that her aunt Tanel hid for her bank, and Veronica just found out that her mother is an actress, but she was a noblewoman, but she got disowned and she became an actress. But then she fell in love with her father, and like her father's family did not want Veronica's mom, they know that her father's family is of higher blood. What could be higher than a noble blood? Like, her mom is already a noble, and what could be higher than that? And obviously it will be the royals. And I'm like, obviously her father is a prince. It took them so long to get that, and then it was revealed that it turns out her father really is Albert Edward, Prince of Wales. I'm like, obviously, I told you it's Prince. I was not surprised at all. But what surprised me was the part where they found birth certificates of her and marriage certificates. So they were married before Veronica was even born. So which would mean she is the only legitimate heir to the throne, and Prince Albert's marriage to Queen Victoria right now is void, and all their children are illegitimates and they're bastards. And so that is why her life is in danger, because a lot of people want her. Like, the royals want her dead. The Irish want her because she is from Irish descent, and they want an Irish to be on the throne. Turns out that person who has the Irish interest is her own uncle. I'm like, what? Her own uncle? What could make him think like that? What drove him to that? So that I don't believe that this will be the last time that we will meet her uncle, because I still want to know why. Like, what drove him to try to control her own niece? Like, can't he just be happy? Like, how did their family react when they found out that their daughter, their own disowned daughter, disowned sister, was bearing the only legitimate heir? She gave birth to that heir. Like, what were they thinking? How did they react? You know? I really just forgot that Stoker mentioned that he has a brother because he has siblings, but he left his family because he wants adventure. There's no adventure in his family. He is from a well-known family too. I guess since his last failed expedition is when he left his family, I'm not sure. And Veronica was just labeled the most dangerous person in the British Empire. She doesn't want the title, but as long as she lives, she is a threat. And then like Stoker was like, we can run away together, we can hide, you don't have to die, and I can protect you, and you don't have to worry about your reputation, because I will marry you, Veronica, and I will take care of you, and I'll be a good husband. And she's like, hold up, man, I have no plans of running away, I do not want to run away. And that just made me like the worst proposal ever. I mean, I've received 17 proposals and yours is the worst. I'm like, this woman keeps surprising me. She has had 70 proposals, and I'm guessing she's just waiting for Stoker to propose properly, a romantic proposal perhaps. And so when the case has been solved, but the warehouse is burning, Stoker just went back in because he needs to save his dog. Oh my gosh, Huxley, like, why can't that dog run away himself? Why can't he just run out through the door? Why was he still waiting for his owner to pick him up and take him out? Like, I was worried something may happen to Stoker, like not something really severe, but like he could get burnt or hit by something, but luckily he's not, without a single scrape. It's just great. And then I really appreciated what Stoker did for her. Stoker knew that she was gonna burn those papers, her certificates, her proof that she is the only legitimate heir. When Veronica thought that he was writing in his notebook, he was actually creating copies of the certificates, and he kept the original ones and gave the fake ones to Veronica, and that is what Veronica burned. And he told Veronica that you should not be forced to do something because you're like compelled, or you're like given no choice, like you were pressured to do that. I want you to burn this, keep it whatever you like, but as long as no one is pressuring you to do anything, it has to be on your own terms, it has to be on your own time. Veronica was very touched, and like I'm also very touched, and I was just feeling like, oh my god, thank you so. And there was also Veronica's proposal to the owner of the home that they would take care of the Belvedere, convinced the owner that it should become a museum and be open to the public, and Stoker and Veronica would be there to clean everything up and write everything in the books. They would be going on adventures together, which is fully paid by you, so that they can go to expeditions and get more stuff to be placed in the museum. They had an agreement, and now it's just time to tell Stoker of the plan that Veronica had agreed with the owner, and hopefully he would agree. And when Veronica told Stoker, he was like so surprised, and it took him a while to answer that yeah, he'd do it, because he's always wanted to do that. Like, he has written letters to different museums and they have all rejected him. Now he doesn't have to get any more rejection. He could do it at his own time. It is a free expense, so it's a win-win for everybody, and they get to stay there in different homes because the owner is very rich and he has different houses and he's just not doing them right. And Veronica Veronica has dibs on the Gothic chapel. I don't know why. And so I'm pretty excited that they get to do more adventures together, and I'm currently reading A Perilous Undertaking right now, which is the book 2 to this series, and I cannot wait to have more Stoker and Veronica, and I just keep screaming that kiss already. Kiss already. Come on. And that was my review and discussion for A Curious Beginning with Deanna Rayburn. I hope you enjoyed that video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it very much, and give it a thumbs down if you don't, but I prefer the beautiful up. That's all. Bye!